DD214 Network podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Network is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now, because we have you.
And welcome to another episode of DD214 Network podcast with your host, Jay and Joe. Hit that horn.
Hang on, I got the horn. Yeah, there it is.
Here we are. What's going on, fellas? How you doing today?
Good. How are you,
everybody? It's a day.
It's always good. Always good to see you guys.
Rainy outside, so. But it's always, this is 100% one of those fucking moments of the week that I definitely look forward to each week. Even on those days where I'm fucking, struggle bus central on a Sunday morning trying to wake up because I drank too much the night before or anything like that. I'm still every fucking week. This is the one thing that I look forward to.
This is what we did. We're like faithfully here. Like people in some of them pews in some of them churches, you know what I mean? Ringing the bell, you know what I mean? Come on in, water's warm. Like faithfully, bro.
Yep,
faithfully.
Oh yeah.
But this is my church. It's not so cool with everybody else, but that's what I do. You know.
I like it when the water's warm.
Me too.
Exactly.
That cold bullshit is for the birds, bro. Like fuck all that, dude. Like I like warm water.
If you're taking cold showers, you definitely got some issues.
Dude, like all that ice bath bullshit, like I'm good, bro. I've done all that. Like it's not nearly as cool as everybody makes it seem. And the health benefits are questionable at best. So
I'm really skinny. I don't need my skin and muscles tightening up already. I don't need to end up like a soda can being crushed by the hand of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm good.
Thank you. I completely agree, John. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
hey, hands are clean. No pun intended. But
if you like taking ice baths, I really don't give a shit. I was just talking shit. Like
to each their fucking own in that type of crap. Like me personally, no.
Yes.
No, I can't. Yes. I can't do it. And it's like you ever seen the video of the dude? He looks like a Viking. And he's got like the axe, and he jumps off the cliff. Jumps off the cliff. Yeah, that video, like it's such a badass video, but no.
The first time I was at selection, I was on the land nav course, and there was this fucking creek, and I was like. I got to this creek and I was like, God damn it. I was like, you have to cross this. Like you can keep going straight and your shit's going to be like a lot easier to get to. But if you crossed right here, and I was like, motherfucker. And I'm like, I did the whole I did the math in my head and I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's do it. So fucking cinched my shit up and I started walking in and then all of a sudden I took a step and I was up a little past my waist in like water, and it was freezing cold. This is in November. This is November, by the way. This is fucking November. Like, and I'm like up like a little bit past my belly button, like in water, and I'm like holding my fucking dummy weapon up, and I'm like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." You know what I mean? It was like, and at that point, I was just like, "Well, fuck it," like trudged across. But then I had to stop on the other side a little ways off to change out of my clothes. I had to put on my fucking dry clothes, and like that
hypothermia.
It ate up time. Yeah, and I had to like I was like doing push-ups in between. I was doing all kinds of shit. Yeah, that's exactly because I fell in the water like in the middle of the night in November in a forest in a creek. You know what I mean? It was like, God.
Well,
it's like I don't need a cold ice bath anymore. I've taken a couple. You know.
Speaking of hot water, it was a hell of a week for WWE with such high. I mean, for them, it started off a really good week. They got the Netflix deal, which is fucking crazy. The
Netflix deal is fucking crazy because
10 years
we're going from
$5 billion?
Like $5 billion fucking deal, and Raw is going to be on Netflix now versus on cable television. So every week, instead of it streaming on USA Network, it's going to be streaming. So it's going to be the first official weekly live show on fucking Netflix also, because they're going to stream it live every fucking Monday on Netflix versus it being like pre-records posted up on Netflix every week. They're going to keep it as a live show like they do now, where every week on USA Network, it goes live on fucking TV. Now it's going to be on Netflix.
Which is incredible because everyone knows that Netflix has been suffering a loss of customers lately, and this is going to be a huge win for them.
I would watch Raw if it was live every week. You know what I mean? Like we have Netflix, so it's like I would watch Raw. Like,
well, it's still live every week. It's just not good.
Well, I'm just saying if it was on Netflix, like I don't have the USA Network, so
and then like a couple days after that, it was announced that The Rock became part of the TKO board, which I think was one of the coolest moves.
He's making moves. He's not. Yeah, that dude has been smart the whole way. He's been smart.
He's extremely business conscious. I mean, dude went from one of the most electrifying entertainers in sports entertainment to fucking acting. And, you know, he's, as long as the role fits him, he's had some roles that are like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Like Tooth Fairy.
And then he's had roles. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Him as the fucking Tooth Fairy and the Tooth Fairy for fucking, what was it? Disney. That was a Disney movie, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then the second one, it was what? Larry the Cable Guy was the Tooth Fairy in the second one. But that one was like, okay, this is a little overboard. But then now he's, you know, stepping in as a board of director for a fucking sports entertainment company, for the fucking company that pretty much runs WWE and fucking UFC.
And made him technically, you know what I mean? Like the WWE. You know, and I think it's such a good move, not just for TKO, but also for The Rock. You know, I'm kind of honestly tired of seeing him in movies that, like we were saying, movies that don't fit him. You know, because there are John Cena. I feel like just did it right. He went into the movie game and he just does these slapstick comedies, and they work for him. Whereas
he's like that motherfucker's made me laugh my ass off, dude. I just wish I could see him.
Yeah. Now,
and his name.
There it is. There it was gonna happen sometime, and
I mean at some point,
you know. And then the next day, a fucking bombshell dropped bigger than Nagasaki.
Bro, did you hear about this shit? Like, do you hear like some of the shit that's come out in like the documents? Yeah. Like the shit he was doing.
Bad.
The literal
fucking going down.
So we figured out a couple things.
Oh my god,
we figured out a few things. So Vince is a sex trafficking sex enthused son of a bitch who likes shitting on women's heads.
Who in
And
the fuck does that shit? Like who in the fuck does that shit?
Yeah.
Like literal shit. Like who does that?
and then Brock Lesnar has a piss fetish, which I'm not judging. I'm not
You know,
judging.
That's not.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
But
the situation at hand is pretty fucking bad, and we have talked about this before, that we have sharp, you know, it's sharp, it's a real thing, and it's there for a reason. And sharp doesn't just exist in the military. They may call it something else in a other company, but this
sexual harassment training. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same fucking thing.
sexual assault.
Like-
That's all sexual assault, dude. Like
It
Yeah,
is.
like I just had to do fucking that type of fucking training for my job.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and for the
it never
first
goes
time,
away. It never goes away.
and
Like that's
for the
fucking
first time in 70 years, a McMahon is not running the company. So, I mean, it finally happened. We all knew it was going to eventually happen because the stories were going to come out, and there seems to be more stuff coming out that I just read about Matt Hardy and John Cena.
Here we go.
I mean, one of the things that I found out with the Vince McMahon stuff that came out. So, if anybody remembers the early 2000s when Shane McMahon fucking left for a while, Shane McMahon left the WWE for a bit. It was because of this type of shit. Like Shane came out, it's been discovered. Shane left because Vince wanted Shane to be joining in on all this fucking bullshit, and Shane was like, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it."
Right. That's right.
So, you know, mad props to fucking Shane McMahon at least for not falling into the fold with his dad and pretty much telling his dad in the early 2000s even, this is bullshit, you shouldn't be doing this, it needs to stop, if it doesn't, I'm leaving, and then fucking leaving the company for a while.
Right. Yeah, it is really hard to quantify how dirty and nasty like this is. And it's good that he's gone. And when motherfuckers like him propagate that type of shit, like it ruins and it destroys like the foundations and all the hard work of people that have like come before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And something interesting that my wife said last night.
Just shatters everybody's trust. You know what I mean? Just shatters trust. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, my wife and I were watching the Royal Rumble last night. And we know the Royal Rumble was last night. We're not a wrestling podcast. If you want to watch a wrestling show, go watch Lucha Outsiders or some shit. But the Royal Rumble happened last night. My wife was saying while we were watching it, she was like, there must be a sense of like relief, a sense of like just liberation and freedom, knowing that that he's gone, he's not in the picture. And it's not like how it was a couple he's gone, but he's still going to make decisions. No, he's gone.
Like it's over. It's
so my wife was talking about like the perspective of some of the athletes and the workers that are still there that were the good guys and how they feel about the whole thing. And they won't talk about it, but I think she's onto something, saying that there is a sense of liberation and relief coming from all of this.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, and that's the thing, like obviously there's going to be that sense of relief even back in the locker room now, because that's not hanging over anybody's head anymore. And mad props to everybody that stayed with all that shit going on and dealt with it and fought against it and stuck it out, because wrestling, it's definitely not the same anymore like it was when we were all growing up. Obviously we're the Attitude Era fucking generation, and
I was even before that. So
yeah,
but I was
that. Like you were back with the NWO and fucking
way before that. Like I'm talking like 80s, like 80s,
I mean,
80s WWF and NWA, like and
the one big thing that really kind of I will give mad props to a fucking corporation on this. Fucking Slim Jim pulled their sponsorships.
They did.
I saw the WWE for right now because of this.
They came back. They came back yesterday.
Oh, did they?
They did. They came back yesterday.
So they did because when the allegations came out, they pulled and said, "Hey, we're not sure if we can support this company." But I guess so since TKO said fuck you to McMahon and booted him off the board, Slim Jim said, okay, the company did the right thing. We're going to give you back our sponsorship.
They actually put out a statement specifically saying that the reason why they pulled out was because of Vince McMahon, and the reason why they came back was because of, like you just said, because of the swift action that TKO took against this ordeal. And then transitioning in through this is CM Punk. We were just talking shit about him, but as we talk shit, there's still a lot of truth of the matter is that literally just about everything that he fucking said, except the part about Vince McMahon dying for others to run the company, his spirit, in a way, he's kind of right. Vince McMahon is dead.
He's gone. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
He's not. Yeah.
He ain't coming back from this one. He's gone.
In a way, CM Punk was correct in everything that he said 10 years ago when he left the company. That pipe bomb, he knew, and it happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So so that's that, and that's sports.
Sports entertainment, right? Entertainment.
Sports entertainment.
But yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, for all that good stuff to happen for WWE to have that one thing overshadow everything, and Triple H said it best. We had such good positives this week. I don't want to focus on the negatives. You shouldn't either. So let's move on from it. And he's right.
Fair. Yeah, I think, because we'll see what happens when this starts coming down to like litigation and like actual court cases. But I don't like McMahon is not coming back. Like it's over. The McMahon era is over in the WWE. Like,
my wife said it best yesterday. The boys' club is closed.
It is. It is, and it ain't coming back. It ain't coming back. Like that's
and the thing is, if it wasn't for this merger with, Endeavor forming TKO, these things wouldn't have happened even with these allegations that came out. Vince would have never been removed because it would have still been the boys club, but because they did this merger last year with Endeavor, forming TKO Holding and all that, that's what really forced this to be able to happen with these allegations coming out, because it wasn't the typical boys club that McMahon had anymore. It was other people with other interests, because we had, the UFC, some of the UFC execs are on the board for TKO. There's other people on that board outside of just WWE good old boys that were able to force the issue and say, hey, we've got to get rid of them. This is going to hurt our pockets in the long run if we keep
everything. And the Netflix deal, it would have been over with. Oh,
yeah,
man.
it would have completely. Netflix would have probably ended up pulling out of the deal if they didn't get rid of it. So
yeah, and and moving on, for me, I just want to say I hope your weeks were great. For me, it was a very simple week, just working on some Fallout stuff, working on me and Lord did our first Fallout episode, which was.
How'd that go?
Well, the preparation for it took about 16 to 18 hours.
Okay.
That was tough. That was a challenge for me, but I got a little enthusiastic. I kind of feel like the scrap episode that was supposed to be done turned into an episode that wasn't a scrap episode. So I kind of feel bad because my excitement overwhelmed me, and I just kept talking. And my wife was telling me it's okay. You were excited. And I'm just like, I'll address it on the next one. But that was exciting. The preparation, the kind of, podcasting. I love podcasting. And I think extensive research to respect something is super important. So that was a lot of fun. And then I was working on, on Fallout RP. I got to play a bunch of GTA and Red Dead on the PlayStation finally, which completely different worlds now that I have finally came over to the PlayStation side. And in Red Dead, the Red Dead online world is a fucking mess.
Yeah, don't even bother with that one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a mess. GTA,
like Rockstar literally like left it alone and like didn't do
it's
anything.
terrible.
They
And
said they cracked Red Dead's code, and there's like stuff on there they said for like 26
yeah,
or something, like different, like like updates and like and parts of the map, like all kinds of shit. And
Yeah.
it's like they left it there to be used,
Yeah.
and Rockstar just let it die because they got like because shark cards or something. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck, dude? We
And
could
it's
have had because that game is such a masterpiece. That
Yeah,
game is such a masterpiece.
And then GTA Online, my fucking god, that it's a mess. But there was something that I noticed that I really like about these controllers, and it's the fact that when you're like playing, like, okay, so for example, Fallout, when you pull out your
Mhm.
Pip-Boy, the light turns green. You know, that's pretty fucking cool. Or like when the cops are coming after you, it starts flashing red,
Mhm.
red and blue, and like, and then when you're using like the phone in GTA, like
Yeah.
you're using this, and everything comes through here. I'm just like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool. So I mean, I gotta say, kudos to PlayStation. Their remotes are fucking dope as hell.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
while we're on that topic,
I have to get used
So-
to the buttons though. It's super weird for me.
yeah, so that's one thing that's kind of I've had to get used to with the PS5 controller. So like in some games, the touchpad here, so there's a ring that lights up around it, and that ring changes colors, kind of like how the light on the front of the PS4
Yes.
controller changes colors. But this actually, in some games, like in the Spider-Man games, you swipe on it for certain actions within the game also. But like in God of War, if I die, the ring turns red. If I'm using a certain magical ability, the ring goes to the color of that ability. So it'll be purple or green, or like it's pretty interesting the way fucking Sony did this shit.
I like it.
Very
I
nice.
like it.
I don't like is it's got a mic. So the microphone, like if I'm using headphones that don't have a mic, it's got a mic built into the controller. So
Holy crap.
an online game like Call of Duty or Fortnite, and you're using the in-game voice chat options, if you don't have a actual mic in your headset, you can just the controller's mic is what's being used for your voice.
Yeah. I really like that. It's super smart. It works. It does what it's supposed to. It does what it's supposed to. But yeah, guys, how was your week? I know we had a birthday this week. What do you guys got?
Yeah, we
Oh
did.
yeah, fucking old man Jay.
Old man, yeah. Old man getting older, keep fucking surviving.
Did you
Like-
pass the threshold?
Yeah, something like that. Dude. Like, yeah. But no, it was we didn't do a lot, but we went back into like the routine. So like last week, last week was cold, but like the week before was like balls cold. You know what I mean? Like disgusting cold. So the girls went back to my daughters went back to school this week, so we kind of just started getting back into the routine, and then got some stuff done around the house. And then Friday I didn't do much for my birthday, but we got pizza delivered to us from one of my homies in Tucson, freaking friend of the show, Pablo Martinez. So I wanted to say thank you to Pablo for hooking us up with some birthday pizza.
Forged in Fire royalty.
Telling you, dude, like it was nice. And then I went out for just a little bit and sang a little bit of karaoke, and then came home and called it a night, and that was it. So wasn't too much, wasn't too crazy, but it was a birthday. So yeah, like 1 year older, man. Like another year closer to death, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Like. John, what are you doing?
I'm trying to fix something with my camera over here. Just keep going.
He's,
here.
You know, he's put on a background so that way he can beat his meat while we're fucking live on the internet.
Yeah, because my name is Jeffrey Tubin, remember?
Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
But yeah,
Football.
all right. You guys want to dive into like a little bit of foosball? Like,
Do it. I want to hear it.
Today's
All
going
right.
to be a fucking interesting day for sure.
it really is. So we have two games, two favorites, two teams that the entire country wants to win, basically outside of the fan base.
Yeah.
And so it's making for a couple of interesting matchups. You want to start on the NFC side?
So, yeah, because I mean, we've got what, Niners versus the fucking Lions today.
Niners Lions. Yep.
Yep.
Fucking
So, like,
football right there. None of that pansy ass dick tugging.
What is it? Lions
Niners, yeah. At San Francisco, right? I got to assume it's at San Francisco. So
NFC. Yeah, it's in San Fran. And it was 19. Yeah, it was 92 was the last time the Lions fucking played in an NFC championship game. So, it's 30 plus years coming since the Lions have made it this far. It's a big thing for, Lions fans altogether.
that's the Lions. The Lions are, even as the underdogs, they're going to be the sentimental favorite for like everybody except for like everybody except 49ers
except
fans.
49ers fans. Whether your team's AFC or NFC, Lions right now for the NFC side are the fucking favored.
Yeah.
Because it's been so fucking long, and the Lions, I mean, this year the fucking Lions have done it. Like, I was, there was a glisten last week with how the Green Bay Niners game started off. We're going to go back to that one a little bit because Green Bay was owning the fucking field for the first half.
Yeah.
And then the switch flipped at halftime. Niners came out and fucking took the game back. I was really hoping it was going to end up being Green Bay versus the Lions because being someone that's pulling for fucking Detroit.
Well, Detroit would have had another home game. They would have had another home game.
Detroit would have had another home game, and it would have given them a fucking shit ton of an advantage this week with the NFC Championship. However, I mean, the thing is, with the fucking momentum the Lions have right now, there's still that good fucking chance. I haven't looked at the betting odds. I'm because I'm not a betting man. I don't, fully look at those week to week. I still, I'm hoping a prayer that fucking the Lions take the fucking Niners out.
We'll see. It's you and me have been calling it all year. Fucking Ravens, Niners in the Super Bowl. And the Ravens and the Niners are both in their respective conference championships. Now, whether or not they freaking advance, that's what we're going to be waiting to see today. Because we got the Ravens, we got the Ravens and my Kansas City Chiefs on the AFC side. And that's an interesting game. I would say if you're a gambling person, I would put money on Baltimore. My heart is with Kansas City, but if I was going to gamble it, I would probably put money on Baltimore. The only problem with that is it is the fucking Chiefs and it is Mahomes. So we'll see which Chiefs team shows up today because they've had some really, really bad games this year. Struggled to get their offense going. But now during the playoffs, they're starting to show like a playoff winning team, every game. And it's like playoff Mahomes basically. So now that's they like Baltimore is going to have to factor that in. They're going to have to factor that in.
The only thing I'm really looking forward to with the Chiefs fucking Ravens game today is if Jason Kelsey is going to be there again, because old dude was tore up from the fucking floor up last week in that fucking Chiefs fucking
when he was like cheering his brother on for scoring touchdown and shit. Yeah,
jumping out of the fucking damn box, fucking drunk as shit, no shirt on, in fucking Bills Nation, fucking just and. I'm not sure if you saw any of the videos after the fact later this week, Jay, but like there was a point he was like chugging beer out of a fucking bowling ball during the tailgate.
Oh yeah. He
before
went
the
down.
game.
He went down in the fucking crowd. Yeah, yes, he did.
Well, not
Yes,
even down in the crowd. Like he was out there tailgating with the Bills Mafia before the game even started, chugging beers out of fucking bowling balls and shit, partying it up with everybody. Like, dude fucking retired the week before and said, I'm no longer repping a team anymore. I'm gonna go get fucked up at this fucking playoff game that my brother's in.
Like,
and fucking did it.
He is beholden to no one. Like,
I was more excited to see, because they showed more of Jason Kelce this past game than they did of fucking Swift.
Right.
And I was just like, he provided good quality fucking entertainment.
It was fun.
Every time they fucking showed him, it was fun to fucking watch, because it was like, okay, what's the next stupid thing we're going to see Jason Kelce do? And there was one clip at one point, fucking Mahomes' dad tried to fucking rein Kelce back into the box. Like, he was coming out of the box to grab Jason to bring him back in. Like, dude, calm the fuck down, sit the fuck down, stop doing this shit type of situation.
He was having a good time. Like, the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Chiefs had a pretty good game. There were some missteps here and there, but it was pretty much like that's, and I think that's, because like Baltimore's favored, and Baltimore is the fan favorite in this. Everybody in the AFC is tired of the Chiefs right now. So Baltimore is like, most people.
Same thing. It's the same thing on the AFC side that it is on the NFC side. You know, everybody's tired of the 49ers except 49ers fans. Everybody's tired of the Chiefs except Chiefs fans on the other side of the fence. So I think
the only fan bases we're not losing on the Chiefs side is there's a couple, like some of the Ravens, like the Ravens rivals, like Steelers fans are probably going to root for the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like some of those, you know what I mean? Like, but outside of the Rust Belt, pretty much the entire country wants the Ravens to fucking win. So we'll see. But the real problem with the Chiefs is not that they can't be beat. It's that they can find ways to beat you. And like all it takes is like that, like 2-3 points, win by a score. We got Butker completely capable of kicking like a 50+ yard, like last second field goal. You know what I mean? So assuming it's good, you know what I mean? Like that can end your season with Kansas City.
Yeah.
And it'll be another fucking Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Which I know would piss a lot of people off, but it can happen, and we're about to find out in about 3 hours. We're about to find out in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think me and Joe are still safely going to call it. We are probably going to see a Baltimore, San Francisco.
We're going to see. It's going to be Ravens Niners for the Super Bowl.
It might be, but wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun if it was like Kansas City and Detroit? Wouldn't it be fun?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be a really interesting fucking game. It does end up because the
very first game of this entire NFL season was Kansas City versus Detroit, and now they're both.
And that was the one where KC lost by 1 point to Detroit.
Yep. Well, that was the first game of the season that we shot ourselves in the dick. Like that was the first. That was the very, because like we should, by all rights, we should have won that game, and Detroit slugged it the fuck out with us. Our offense was sluggish, and fucking like Detroit never stopped. And like that, I was really impressed with Detroit when I like that. We're talking about that's fucking week 1, and I was so impressed watching Detroit play because they did not quit, and that was very indicative of exactly where they're at right now. That's indicative of like,
and that's the thing. Like that game really set the pace for the fucking Lions this season. Because they came in, they took the fucking reigning Super Bowl champs down. Even though it was a 1 point fucking game, they still took
won.
the fucking reigning Super Bowl champs. A win is a win, whether it's fucking 1 point or 20 points. It doesn't fucking matter. They came in, they took the reigning Super Bowl champs down. They've fucking had phenomenal games in the playoffs so far. Because I mean, last week there was a point I thought they might have fucking ended up taking an L. But fucking Detroit,
they battled back.
But they battled back. They fucking were the Warriors that they're fucking paid to be. They fucking did their job. And now we're, last week of the playoffs. Next week, we've got the fucking Pro Bowl with all that bullshit. I miss when the Pro Bowl used to be actual fucking football for the Pro Bowl and not
Right.
a fucking skills challenge and then a flag football game on a fucking Sunday.
Right. So they don't
It's
injure anybody.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
But that's because
home
that's
run derby week.
I mean, if we look at it, the Pro Bowl used to be the players going to the Pro Bowl used to be determined off of, they would do the same thing. They would pick who's going to the Pro Bowl before the championship games even started. But then players would be shuffled around based off of what two teams were going to the Super Bowl, because they would pull any players from those Super Bowl teams off of the Pro Bowl teams for the AFC and NFC. And then they would have a legit fucking football game. Now they still keep those players out there and they switch it over to fucking flag football and then a skills competition.
Right. I'm probably gonna watch it just to see what it looks like. You know what I mean? Just to because
I mean, I'm
kind of like what
I
the All-Star
always watch.
Game, they keep adding stuff to the All-Star game in baseball, and it's kind of in a similar vein. It's like, you know what? Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I'm gonna watch the Pro Bowl next Sunday. Like, there's not gonna be the flag football game just to fucking watch it. I watch it every fucking year, even though it's flag football now and not real fucking man sports.
Right.
But
I gotta, go ahead.
It's just it's interesting what the NFL's done, and I will continue to say it. Right now, we're in the era of ref ball. It's not even football anymore. It's fucking ref ball.
This season has definitely stood out because
There's been some losses for teams that was purely off of bad calls from the refs.
And it changes the direction of it can change the direction of the entire season. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it can alter and did alter playoff seedings. So that's been happening throughout the season on both in both conferences. You know what I mean? Like, it's turning into one yellow flag can completely disrupt the entire game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I will be the first to admit the Lions should have been the fucking number 2 seed. The Cowboys shouldn't have. That fucking win the Cowboys took over the Lions was because of bad call from the fucking refs.
Right.
I mean, I'm a fan of my team, true and true, but I know a bad call when I fucking see one.
Well,
was I happy that bad call happened to fucking put us in favor? Hell yes. However, that changed the entire outcome of the fucking playoffs, even because that one bad call is what put Dallas in number 2 slot and fucking the Lions in the number 3 slot by the end of the season.
Right. Well, and that's one of those things where it's just, I understand the refs have a job to do, but when they can see, when New York can see what the refs see before they see it, even sometimes there needs to be no, that was
New York
bullshit.
needs to intervene before the fucking shit goes through fully.
That happened in the fucking Kansas City game. New York waited until Andy Reid threw a flag to tell the fucking refs that they were completely wrong. It was the fastest freaking challenge you've ever seen. But Kansas City still had to make a challenge before New York wasn't going to step in. They were waiting for Andy Reid to freaking challenge.
They were waiting for the fucking challenge flag, and that's bullshit. If you can clearly fucking see it remotely, fucking get in the fucking ref's ear and say, "Go fuck yourself." That fucking call was piss poor. Reverse it.
Yeah, exactly. You guys need to step back and whatever the call was. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a penalty flag. It can be, did they have both feet in when they made the catch? You know what I mean? Before going out of bounds. It could be did a knee or an elbow touch the ground before whatever happened? You know what I mean? That it's that type of shit too, that you can't always see right there in the moment. The real problem is that the refs are getting away with making bad calls. When we have all the technology available to us you can pull that back. It's okay to make mistakes, kids. Nobody's perfect. Like it's okay to make mistakes. Like that's you're there on the field in person. Like they always should have the first say. But Jesus Christ, when we can see from like 3 different angles in super slow-mo exactly what happened, it's like no. That call was fucking not good. Like you need to rein that one back in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
anywho.
mean, and that's exactly why. Like last week, even there were plenty of times I'm yelling at the TV, like, "Are we playing fucking football or are we playing ref ball right now?" Because even last week in the 4 games, there were a lot of fucking calls where it's like, "What the fuck are the refs doing right now?"
Right.
Like they need to stop jerking each other off and they need to fucking pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Like you said, that call that Andy Reid fucking threw the damn challenge flag on.
It
That
should have never come down to him.
the challenge flag should have never fucking came out of his fucking pocket.
Right. And that and you could tell, like we were watching it. We were sitting there watching it and we were like, what? Like, why did it take it? Because like as soon as he threw the flag, the refs started convening and you could tell they were about to go to a commercial break so that they could like do like the the replay or whatever in the booth. And it didn't even take that long. They immediately like fucking and it was like,
yeah,
that was like the fastest.
It was seconds.
They didn't even bother.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, like that. That's how wrong they knew they were. And it was like, why did it take so long, NFL? Why did it take Andy Reid throwing down the challenge flag? That's like I'm crying. I'm a Chiefs fan crying again, right?
I mean,
like,
this was literally me with a lot of those fucking calls over the fucking playoffs.
Bruh.
Like, I mean, it's been fucking horrible.
You're muted.
Fuck.
There's not enough of that. Just not enough of teamwork, man.
There really isn't. There's just and that but yeah, I think the NFL is slowly starting to realize that their product is going to take a hit if like fuck regular season games, dude. Like if like playoff games get determined by ref ball, God forbid the fucking Super Bowl, if that came down to like some ref ball shit, bro, like the NFL is going to start taking a hit on their product. Like people are going to stop like for everything that people say
stop fucking tuning in, stop watching.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. I mean, fuck. If the first time, like hypothetically, let's say this fucking Super Bowl in 2 weeks comes down to fucking ref ball, I will be the first to fucking say, I will fucking stop paying for cable so I can fucking watch football on fucking during football season. Because I will be so pissed off with the fucking NFL that my cable and internet provider will lose fucking money because I won't pay for the fucking cable anymore to be able to watch the fucking games.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of it too, and like I think what a lot of people are actually worried about, especially with the ref ball, is the fucking gambling. Like gambling has officially made it into our professional sports, and they're hyping it, and they're in decades long past, children, there have already been like point shaving scandals with fucking referees in different sports. Like this is a thing. And like there's a reason why like gambling laws used to be so strict, especially as it relates to professional sports. Is so that the outcome is never in question. Like it like somebody won, somebody lost, but that's what happened. Like when you start introducing gambling, the NFL can very quickly turn into fucking WWE. You know what I mean? And it's like this shit is happening. Say again, John.
Sports entertainment.
Yeah, seriously. And that's like, and I don't want baseball or football or professional basketball, men's and women's. I don't want there to be a question over whether or not the results are legitimate. You know what I mean? That's like the last step before the fucking sport dies. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. Like, God damn it, dude. Like, please don't fucking gamble away my fucking NFL, dude. Please don't gamble away my NFL. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, those of us that watch WWE, like professional wrestling,
right?
We expect,
right?
Yeah, we expect it to be just, it's entertainment, it's staged, it's scripted, it's not fucking real.
Right.
But with the NFL, that is supposed to be an actual professional fucking sport where it takes skill and talent to be out there on the field to fucking win a game. And the refs this season so far have taken a good chunk of that skill and shit out of the fucking game by the fucking calls they've made.
That's
And
correct.
like you were saying, Jay,
I hope it's not
from
gambling.
a betting standpoint, from a gambling standpoint, it's going to fuck things up because now we're fixing fucking games in a sense.
Yep.
And
it
you know, players in the past
doesn't take much
players in the
to
past
kill.
have gotten in fucking trouble for fucking fixing games
Yeah.
for betting reasons. Like the NFL has made fucking regulations against their players fucking betting on the fucking sport themselves because of that.
Yep.
So
That's right.
like it's one of those
Well,
things. Like when I watch the
Super Bowl's
NFL,
Super Bowl's in Vegas this year, right?
yeah.
Because I think the NFL said that like the team, whatever teams make it, they are not allowed to gamble in Vegas at all. Like when they're there for Super Bowl week, they're not allowed to gamble.
Yeah, they're not allowed to fucking any type of gambling. They're not even allowed to go fucking play the slot machines or the fucking blackjack table.
Right.
Like
straight up.
The NFL has straight said, if you get caught, you won't play.
Yep. That's fucking like they're not, and that's the dichotomy, right? Because it's like, but all it takes is a couple of people, you know, like one fucking call can kill a drive when a team is making a comeback and they have momentum. One call can kill an entire drive. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't
seen
take
those
much.
calls this season.
Yes, we've have
seen those fucking calls.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's like it doesn't take much to kill the momentum of a football game, and it can heavily swing the results. It can heavily swing. Mm-hmm. Football is all about freaking, you know, offense versus defense on both sides. Both sides, you know, for each team, and it's like it is supposed to be a clash of, you know, like it's like basically like two platoons going out there and having at each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you got to come up with the right war plan freaking to get your ball in the other team's freaking end zone. You know what I mean? And vice versa. And that's like, that's what it's supposed to be. It very quickly stops becoming that if we start throwing gambling in there and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where it will very quickly become outcomes are fixed, freaking points are shaved, freaking X, Y, or Z. And now people either made or lost a lot of money. You know what I mean?
So,
yeah. I really hope it's not that. I really hope it's not that.
Yeah,
it would hurt my heart. It would hurt my heart.
Yeah, it would take an entire section of the year. It would take the enjoyment out of my life for an entire chunk of the year. If it comes down to that, because I really do enjoy every fucking Sunday. I mean, I enjoy it more now because, you know, me and you fucking talk fucking football every damn week from the time the season starts till the fucking time the season ends. Absolutely. We're talking about it. We're fucking, you know, analyzing. We're fucking.
Me and John are the boys of summer, dude. And like you and me get through the winter. You know what I mean? Like
you and John get fucking baseball during the summer and the spring, and then me and you get the fucking fall/winter with football season. So. And
it would hurt my heart, dude. It would hurt my heart. I remember when I saw that the NFL started allowing like DraftKings type shit and like whatever, like on their broadcasts. Like I made a very sarcastic comment when I saw that the first time, and I was like, I wonder how long it's going to be before we have a fucking point shaving scandal. I literally I made the comment.
When you've got the athletes from the teams getting sponsorships from these fucking gambling sites. Like DraftKings, fucking Fanatics. Yeah. I'm surprised because it's been 4 years since they started that shit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we haven't had one yet.
Well, it's like, and somehow, as much as we like to shit on the refs, it's almost like the refs have gotten progressively worse too.
Yeah.
And it's like they're making calls and not calling them back on some crazy ass shit where it's like, I don't even know what they're like. The announcers in the booth are like, I don't even know what he was looking at there. You know what I mean? Like the announcers are saying like that.
Yeah,
that's a bad fucking call.
When you've got
like,
old ex players and coaches that are analyzing it from the fucking booth during the game, and they're like, where the fuck was the holding? Where the fuck was this? Where the fuck was that? Like, what was the ref looking at? It's bad. Like,
yeah, that's because normally, like back in the day, they didn't do that. They didn't really second guess the refs. It was kind of like
back in the day, the refs would make a call.
Like the unwritten law.
And the announcers would be like, oh yeah, and they would replay it and show where that call fucking came into play, and it would be a legit fucking call.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like really, really bad calls were only like once in a blue moon, and they actually became famous because they were so, blatantly bad, right?
Yeah.
But they were like, nowadays it's like there's a fucking terrible call like once or twice a goddamn game. And it's like, come the fuck on, dude. You can't, like, that's just a legitimately bad call. Like, you can't, I don't know. I'm gonna start fucking yeah. Like,
but
the fire rises. Like,
but see, that's the thing. Like, I mean, there was at least 2 or 3 bad calls during all 4 of the games last week and the games the week before. And every fucking week since the fucking season started, there's been horrible bad fucking calls. Yep. And, being a Dallas fan, we get bad reps. Dallas fans get bad reps because you see a lot of the time these fucking videos of the Dallas fans that are fucking breaking their TVs or fucking throwing shit because of whatever reason.
Never understood.
I don't either.
Like, now you need a new TV. Like,
I'm a Dallas fan through and through, but I'm not going to fucking break my $1,500 fucking TV because I don't have the fucking money to go out tomorrow and buy a fucking new TV. It's a fucking game.
If the TV was actually in the game and like the TV lost the game for us, yeah, I might fuck it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But the TV was on my fucking, stand here, and didn't do anything at all. It just gave me, the view of my team fucking up that week. You know what I mean?
But then again, you got to look also, like, a lot of the times when you see those, it's like the older Dallas fans that grew up in the era of the CRT TVs and shit, where you could fucking punt a goddamn TV and it wasn't going to break. And now with flat screens nowadays, you just look at them wrong and they might fucking stop working.
like some fucking like carry shit. You know what I mean? Like,
flat screens are the fucking the Gen Zers of the fucking TV world. Like, you look at them wrong and their feelings get hurt.
Yeah, like like half of it like fucking starts streaking out and shit. Like, start losing pixels. Like,
how dare you fucking? How dare you assume
that I'm gonna run properly this whole time?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not gonna go further into that fucking topic though.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
If you remember the good old days where like rock and roll bands used to like throw TVs out of like hotel rooms and shit. It's like now it's like that.
And the TV still fucking worked when they fucking picked them up off the fucking ground.
Now rock stars
like takes out a whole ass car, but it still works.
But you still plug it in, the fucking screen's not cracked, the thing fucking turns on and fucking still works.
Those really used to be the good days, and now guys like MGK are making guitars out of razor blades, glorifying suicide. Anyways,
holy shit! I got dark.
Damn, way to fuck up the mood there, John. Jesus,
wow.
Did you not hear about that?
No, I heard about it. I just was going to try to stay away from the fucking suicide topic.
Hey, that's his problem. All right, he glorified it, not me. Anyways, I got some to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. I got 10 weird facts about the U.S. Army that you probably didn't know.
Okay, are these verified? Did you cross check this?
These are all verified.
I give you 10 minutes before I fucking guarantee I know at least one of them.
All right, let's see. Number 10. Holding the distinction of being the oldest active duty infantry unit, the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, also known as the Old Guard, was established in 1784. This ceremonial unit and escort to the President of the United States oversees the prestigious changing of the guard ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and was honored with the American Legion's Distinguished Service Medal in 2016.
I knew all of that.
Yeah, I knew all that.
That was
off fact.
That one's it. That
less
one,
than 10 minutes. It took fucking first
so
one.
no, they're actually a really cool unit, and I have known a couple of guys that were in the old guard, and I have been around tomb guards as far like I've seen a guy like they get a patch basically, like they get to wear like a patch on their uniform for being a tomb guard, and those are pretty rare to see like just in day-to-day infantry life. And I've seen a couple of guys with that were tomb guards, and that is a distinction and an honor that like I could have never done it. Like that, like the amount of discipline and the attention to detail, like those guys are sharper than anything. Like
this is the badge that they get for being a tomb guard.
Yeah, let's see it.
Joe Tex Quillini joined.
Yes,
beautiful.
That's the one.
It's a very coveted fucking badge.
Very rare. Like
very rare. I've got one of the guys that I served with that initially enlisted as an MP, and then he ended up reclassing to infantry, because he wanted to become a tomb guard.
Cool.
And then he ended up becoming a tomb guard. Good friend of mine.
Good for him, dude.
Fucking great dude. You know, he had his fucking he had his mind. But
yeah, that's I saw when you reclass from another MOS into the infantry, and I've said it before, like it really is sink or swim.
Yeah,
like you will burn out very quickly, or you will fly, and there's no in between. You'll like reclasses that aren't going to make it in the infantry, like they don't last long. They really like the infantry loves to fucking eat its own, and they do. Yep. They love eating their own.
All right, I got 9 more. In 2011, the average soldier consumed 22 gallons of fuel per day while driving their vehicles, a stark contrast to World War II when a soldier required only 1 gallon of fuel daily on average.
Interesting. It wouldn't surprise me though, like if you're talking about like fuel economy and the different types of engines that we run and like how big and heavy the equipment is, like makes sense.
Yeah.
makes sense.
It does. I mean, now are we talking POVs or are we talking like their military vehicles at the same time, like in a combat
military vehicles? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if we're looking at that also though, because if you're looking World War II, a lot of vehicles it there was they were just like vehicles weren't used to go from point A to point B a lot. They were just used within small areas during World War II. Where in, the Iraq-Afghanistan wars during that era, the 2011 and on era, we were fucking convoying from the FOB sometimes 30, 40 fucking miles out to a village. So that definitely makes sense. The big difference in gallons of fuel per soldier.
Yep. 7 and 8 kind of go hand in hand together. I feel like kind of should just be in one sentence, but imagine the Army as a city reveals that it would be the 10th largest in the United States, but the vast land holdings surpass those of some states. So if it were a state itself, it would outsize Hawaii and Massachusetts combined.
Doesn't surprise me. I think I've heard a similar factoid before.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, number 6 is one that I learned while reading a chart at the D factor in AIT, is that among the ranks of Army personnel are astronauts, distinguished by their astronaut wings. Retired Colonel Douglas Wheelock, for instance, commanded the ISS after being the first active duty soldier to do so.
That's awesome. That's the other like completely like rare, precious badge is like to have like the astronaut badge on your duty uniform. Like that's like
you ain't
gonna see that shit. You ain't gonna see that shit anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Number 5 is an intriguing connection lies within the iconic painting Washington Crossing the Delaware by Emmanuel Gottlieb Lutz. The individual holding the flag next to the future president Washington is none other than James Monroe, who would also go on to become president in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, that was on Christmas Day, by the way. That was on fucking Christmas. Like,
A remarkable 24 U.S. presidents served in the Army, participating in state militias that supported the nation during pivotal periods like American Revolution and the Civil War. Interesting fact that I just recently read the other day. I'm kind of learning some. As I'm doing some research, I've been learning about West Virginia a lot lately, and I found out that
Country
Harper's
roads.
Take Me Home. There's a reason why that place is close to heaven. I'm telling you, it's beautiful out there. But there is oh fuck. God damn it, Squilini. You had to sing that song. Oh,
Hey, that's like the third time you've mentioned West Virginia today, and I just had to fucking go with it.
yeah. So not only is West Virginia cursed as hell, okay, but that Harper's Ferry was apparently the real true start of the Civil War. That there was a very tiny small incident that occurred there that sparked the Civil War, and not another. I
Fort
forgot
Sumter,
what happened. Fort Sumter.
and not Fort Sumter.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I knew I could depend on you, man. A law.
Love history.
All right. Number 3. Unlike other service branches, the Army was the last to embrace an official song. It wasn't until Veterans Day 1956 that the Army Goes Rolling Along was officially declared as its anthem.
Yep. And the origin of that song is actually a field artillery song called the Kaisan song.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. That's the tune. That's the tune that it goes to. By the Kaisan song. So yeah, that's there. So it goes even farther back than that, but it didn't become the Army Goes Rolling Along, and so like you said, that was a board question for me, or that was among the board questions that you could potentially be asked. So like when you're studying for the board, like the origin of the Army song, and I didn't like playing Stump the Chump, but that was one of the ones I would use as a curveball just to see like how deep some of the soldiers like for mock boards, not for like an actual promotion board.
Yeah.
But I would do a mock board with my soldiers to help them prepare for the board. And that was one of the ones I used as a curveball to see how deep into the study guide they actually delved.
Yeah,
And
there was actually one that I actually got to give a shout out to former Sergeant Sally, who was my NCO at the time, when he explained to me. I never got to the board. I never got to take a mock one either. But he was kind of more honest with things, if you will, regardless if I agreed with the things that he was saying to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he was telling me that there are certain questions that are not even in the board.
Correct. That is correct.
And one of them was why are hookers called hookers? Which was super interesting to me, and it's not even just to be comedic at all. But there was a whole thing with General Hooker and his women, and the women that he had around him. Yeah. And apparently there's the origin story of that. But one that always stuck to my mind was how many trucks are on an Army base?
Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
That's the traditional answer. It's not. It's completely fabricated, but that's.
Yeah. What's the traditional answer of what's inside the truck?
A match, a razor blade, and a freaking 45 round.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And when the pole falls, it should fall like basically where you can find a pistol. But that it doesn't exist like that anymore. None of that is real anymore. But
And there's also a thing too that you have to push it down a certain way so that it hits another like concrete pillar part where it would land, where it would break the truck open.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never really got it.
Yeah,
it was like one of those like kind of like those. Yeah, like I got asked one time why the engineers are like their thing is a castle. And I actually knew the answer. It's chess.
Mm-hmm.
It's chess.
Oh,
it's like infantry. Infantry is the queen of battle. Cavalry obviously is the knights. Engineers are the rooks. And yeah, the king of battle is artillery. And I forget there used to be something for the bishops, and I always, because we don't really use it's not a thing really in modern military, but yeah, the freaking but yeah, that's your traditional, the engineers are the rooks. So
yeah. Number
Yeah.
2, the task of mapping America, including the renowned Lewis and Clark expedition, fell into the hands of the U.S. Army. Notably, Army officers were among the first Americans to witness the grandeur of Pikes Peak and the Grand Canyon.
Yep. And that's yeah, that was Lewis and Clark actually came right here through Kansas City before Kansas City was anything. You know what I mean? It was just fucking wilderness. You know what I mean? Like after the Louisiana Purchase. You know what I mean? Like so it was still just fucking wilderness. But,
and here is the most I found this out this morning. This is to me the most interesting fact is that prior to World War II, members of the 45th Infantry Division proudly adorned the swastika patch on their left shoulder as a tribute to Native Americans. However, in the 1930s, the symbol was replaced with a thunderbird.
Yes, that is correct. And that's
for obvious reasons.
Yes. And that symbol was heavily used in Native American culture, going all the way into the early 1900s. Like there were even like basketball teams that were called the swastikas, and it was a symbol of fucking peace. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, and that there is the 45th Division did have that originally as on their division patch until the rise of Hitler, basically, and it fucked everything up for everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna go into news. I have something really cool is going on. Pregnant troops and new military moms will get expanded mental health care under lawmakers' proposal. The article stating here, leader of a House panel on military quality of life have proposed a pilot program called the Maintaining Our Obligation to Moms, or Moms Who Served Act. The initiative, introduced in Congress this week, seeks to allocate $25 million over 5 years for a specialized mental health care program for pregnant and postpartum service members in military treatment facilities. Representative Chrissy Houlihan, who co-sponsored the bill along with Representative Don Bacon, it's a great name, emphasized the impact of pregnancy on the mother's mental health and its potential effect on their military duties. Houlihan, drawing from her personal experience of giving birth while serving in the Air Force, stressed the importance of providing mental health resources, including prenatal and postpartum care for military personnel. The bipartisan bill has also been introduced in the Senate by Senator James Shaheen and Deb Fisher. The need for mental health program for pregnant and postpartum service members has been a focal point in the panel's discussion, and Representative Houlihan has actively raised questions about this issue during healthcare-focused meetings and briefings with Defense Department officials, military spouses, and advocacy groups. The Moms Who Served Act comes in response to a 2022 Government Accountability Office report revealing higher rates of mental health conditions during the prenatal among service members compared to civilians.
All right. Step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Definitely a step in the right direction. That's something that's probably been needed for a lot longer, but good to freaking see him doing something now. So
yeah. So didn't they have it recently where now the when you give birth, the time that you have off is longer now?
Yes. That's already occurred. And then now with this, that I mean, you have to support your troops. And part of supporting your troops is supporting the family. You know what I mean? Like that is that's what keeps the machine working. You know what I mean? It really is. And that's so yes, you are, kind of property of Uncle Sam when you're in the Army, but like you still, like, everybody needs to take a step back sometimes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When our female soldiers are pregnant and give birth, it takes time to recover from that. And so you don't like mess yourself up worse. You know what I mean? Like that's like pushing a whole ass baby like out of your body. That takes some fucking recovery. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like if you want to do it the right way, you got to do it the right way. So, anyway.
And then in another move, Squilini just told me that the Army initiated this too, but no diploma, no fucking problem. The U.S. Navy is making a move to enlist individuals who didn't graduate from high school or obtain a GED, marking the second time in about a year that the service has taken this step to meet enlistment goals. The decision comes after a similar move in December 2022 to bring in recruits who scored very low on the Armed Services Qualification Test. Both decisions are uncommon, as other military services usually avoid or limit such measures due to challenges in attracting young people who meet the military standards. Under the new plan, Navy recruits without an educational credential can join as long as they score over 50 on the qualification test, which ranges 0 to 99. The last time the Navy accepted individuals without education credentials was in the 2000. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about
Well,
this.
I will say I like that they raised the the ASVAB score. So just to qualify for it, you have to score at least a 50, which would put you dead middle, like in your average.
Yeah,
But that's like,
I feel like it's like you need to know that you're capable of doing something in order for you to join
yes,
our service.
yeah, we're not
It's
like
it's pretty much saying we understand you don't have the education. However, if you score this, we understand you're smart enough to do what we need you to do.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the thing. I know, me personally, when I was going through high school, I struggled because I got fucking bored in school with the pace of the learning and everything. And, this is a great help for those that similar situations, because you've got some really smart people that just traditional schooling isn't for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, with this, we know, at least with the ASVAB score requirement, it gives that sense of, we know you're book smart enough to do the job. A traditional learning environment wasn't for you, which is why you didn't get your GED or your high school diploma.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the same thing. Like, I know certain people who did some time in prison who had the opportunity to join the military, who didn't, who I'm not sure if they had education or not, but if they didn't, I'm sure the opportunity was still presented to them. And there are people out there, like you said, not physically school savvy. They're just not school savvy, but there's something in their brain that works a hell of a lot more differently.
Right.
And it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. And I think that this is a great opportunity for people in that criteria to be able to have a chance to do something more, not just for themselves, but for their country as well.
Sure. Absolutely.
That sounded so like cheesy, didn't it? Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
No.
I just want for their country.
For their country. Serve your country. Yeah. No, you're fine. That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Yep, and our last news, but it's more like a commemoration. February 3rd marks the anniversary of the sinking of the United States Army transport Dorchester and the selfless acts of 4 Army chaplains aboard during World War II. The 4 chaplains, also known as the Immortal Chaplains or the Dorchester Chaplains, represented 3 faiths: Catholic, Jewish, and Protestant. The 368-foot steamship Dorchester, operated by the War Shipping Administration as part of a convoy that left New York in January 1943, bound for the Army command base at Narsarsuaq in southern Greenland. To sail from Newfoundland to Greenland, the ship would have to navigate icy seas and pass through waters infested with German U-boats. But after midnight, February 3rd, 1943, the Dorchester was torpedoed by a U-boat in the Labrador Sea off of Greenland and went down in 20 minutes, according to the official records. 900 of the 904 aboard, 675 drowned or died of hypothermia in the frigid waters, and it was believed to be the worst single death toll for a U.S. convoy during World War II. The loss is remembered most for the sacrifice of the 4 chaplains. The 2 Protestants, a rabbi, and a Catholic priest, they were all Army first lieutenants who went down with the ship. They had spent much of their time calming nervous young soldiers, even putting on evening variety shows to help pass the time. But when the torpedo hit, the chaplains guided men below decks to lifeboats and handed out the life jackets. And right before the ship went down, these chaplains took off their own life preservers and gave them to us. One of the survivors, a 19-year-old at the time, Daniel O'Keefe, said a few weeks after the tragedy, they were standing on the deck praying hand in hand as our lifeboat drifted out of sight.
Fucking A. That's some fucking championship right there. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
I've been recently finding myself to be a little more open with religion recently. Interesting enough, so I find this to be very touching moment. And
Well,
man,
it's uplifting. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's very powerful. Because that sacrifice that is the army way. That is the military way.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
go
we
we go
do.
down with our ship, homie. Like
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Oh
Oh,
my.
look at this fucking guy.
Oh, stop! You're gonna bring.
We're not supposed to. We're gonna get censored. Dude. You're showing pussy on here, dude. You're
What?
muted, dude.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're fine.
Mrs. was bringing me my fucking breakfast, and she let fucking all the cats into the office at the same time. So I'm like,
That's
doing
funny.
a podcast, trying to grab
So-
pussy.
Oh
That's
man.
funny as shit.
So I mean, this was actually a very great episode. I had a lot of fun doing this one today. But guys, you know what time it is. On other shows, you see people spin the wheel, you see people poking at each other, you see them end the show with fighting, but not on this one. No sirree, not on my watch. Not on my watch. But on a serious note, guys, you know what time it is. Every single week, we have to promote suicide prevention. Weather is funny, and weather triggers emotions. Emotions trigger actions. Actions speak louder than words. The first thing you got to do, if you don't want, if you haven't, it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna get a little personal. Kind of interesting. Couple weeks ago. Sometimes I just get down. I sit down at this computer, but this computer is a lot of my work, and I don't take a lot of days to really take the time to go outside sometimes because I'm constantly focused on work. And on Thursday, I felt like that. I was focusing on work. Bless you, Jay. I was focusing on work way too much. And it was to a point that at the end of the night, after I had finished, recording, I was just like, I'm taking the next 2 days off. So Friday and Saturday, these last 2 days, I didn't do anything, and I found myself to be bored.
Right.
I found myself to be bored, and with that, it kind of brought a little, negative edge to me. And these simple little things trigger, like I said, you know, uh, the weather triggers emotion, emotion triggers action. Actions speak louder than words, and I didn't do anything with it, and I feel like I should have. I didn't feel like I wanted to leave this world or anything like that, but I was kind of down. I felt kind of depressed that I wasn't working, and I forced myself not to work because I needed the break. So
Right.
what I'm trying to say, guys, don't overwork yourselves. You start you it's possible that you could lead to yourself to some dark thoughts and some things that you don't want to think about or don't normally think about. Take the time for yourself, you know, love yourself, show yourself that you love yourself. Go out and buy yourself some clothes. Go, get your nails done, get a pedicure or something. Just take a walk. Sometimes you just need to take
Yeah.
a sometimes as you get so overwhelmed, it's just like, I just want to go outside. Just go outside. It's okay. But we know that some of you guys, it's hard to do that. And if you don't want to, if you are having a hard time talking to your friends or your family, even your acquaintances, talk to a stranger. Call the National Suicide Hotline. Text or call 988 or dial 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. There is someone there 24 hours a day waiting to hear your story, waiting to help you, and waiting to keep you going to let you live another day, live another 168 hours, live another year. It's a new age. It's We got to be positive. We got to be there for each other, and we got to be there specifically for yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to take care of others? And that's just an iteration of what Jay says. And you already know what it is. If the plane's going down, you got to put your mask on first. You know, you got to get yours on first before you can help others. So, guys, I appreciate you guys coming every single week. I love you guys. We love you guys. You guys already know. Just hey, come see us next week. Just come see us next week. You know, chew on your caramel tablets. Put a little sugar in your coffee. Hell, why don't you put a little barbecue sauce on your chicken nuggets? All right. Oh, and one last thing: do not eat White Castle at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I learned the hard way the morning after. So, guys, we love you. We'll see you in 168 hours. Don't do drugs. Don't beat your spouse. Don't beat your parrot. And put a leash on your animal too.
If you're gonna tap it, wrap it, and if you can't fucking wrap it, don't be a dummy. Fucking shoot it on her tummy. All right. Like,
Selena, you got something?
Don't add to the population or subtract from the population. If you end up in jail, well, you're fucking screwed.
We know what you did. And we have a comment right before we leave by Christian Romero. Salvator ambulando is a Latin phrase used by philosophers like Aristotle to say it is solved by walking. It helps us to resolve some inner thoughts.
There you go. Absolutely.
You know what?
I love it. Thank
Christian, you came right at you came right at the last moment, and I'm glad that our talking elongated it. We love you guys. See you in 168 hours.
Y'all be good.
Oh.